Hello, Adiba. Hi. Good afternoon. I think it's 4:30, so it's good evening. Your place. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for actually being a part of our podcast. So, Adiba,
Yeah.
as you already know, we are the C podcast. What we basically try to do is we try to make sure that we understand people, their different experiences through mental health, and how exactly they have coped up with certain situations that they might have faced. Uh, and we basically try to make sure that people get empowered after listening to your stories, so that your stories can inspire them, also help them understand what they can do and what they shouldn't do at times like this. So thanks again for joining us. And before we
Mm.
start, I was just wondering the meaning of your name, Adiba. What does it mean?
Adiba means refine.
Oh, okay, refined. Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's
Which
refine.
language is
Yeah.
it?
This is Arabic.
Oh, all right, nice, nice.
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
you're right now in Thailand. No, you're in Malaysia.
Okay. I was born in Malaysia, but
Okay.
I've been living in Taiwan for almost 9 years. For
Oh,
almost
okay,
9 years in Taiwan.
okay.
But at the moment, I'm having my vacation. I'm taking a break in Malaysia. I'm back in Malaysia right now.
Oh,
I'm in Kuala Lumpur.
okay, Kuala Lumpur. So which place do you like the most? Taiwan and Malaysia. What do you prefer?
Um, of course, it's always your home country because your family and friends are here.
Right.
But if you say in Malaysia which part, I prefer Sarawak in Kuching. It's one of the part in Malaysia. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's my
Mm-hmm.
my place because I find it like the place is very peaceful, and for me to meditate, do my mental health there is really it's a nice place.
Right, I'm sure it's peaceful. All right, Adiba. So I get to know you first. I mean, we all try to know you first. So before we start, I just want you to get yourself introduced to our audience so that they can understand you, and you can also let us know about your profession, your different hobbies, and then we can start the conversation.
Sure. Okay, first of all, thank you again for having me. My name is Adiba, and everybody calls me Diba. Okay,
Ah,
so
okay.
I'm originally from Malaysia, and I've been working in Taiwan for almost 9 years now. Actually, it's 8 years. Next year is gonna be 9 years.
Okay,
So
okay.
I came.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
I
be
mean,
honest, guys.
yeah, time moving so fast right now. It's only two
Right,
months left. It's gonna be
right,
2023. So
right.
basically, what I do is I'm actually working, and I open a restaurant, Malaysia restaurant in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, again, I'm taking my break, holiday, since after COVID, and now everybody is back to normal. So I took the opportunity to come back and see my family. Yeah. So I
Right.
guess I was actually in at first I studied there in Taiwan,
Mm-hmm.
and then I fell in love with the city, and I decided to. I'm not migrate, but my residency is over there at the moment.
Oh, all right. Great, great. So Adiba, how were you as a kid? How was your childhood? I just, wanted to know how were you? Were you a lively kid? Were you a shy kid? How exactly was your childhood?
Um, okay, my childhood is well, I think I have a. I'm not sure if I have a normal childhood, but
Mm-hmm.
because my parents were separated and divorced
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
I was small, and
Okay.
things were crazy at home. So I guess I'm a survivor. you know,
Oh, okay, okay,
I
okay.
but I have my siblings, and I'm really close to my siblings. So we keep, everyone intact, and we make sure that whatever happens to our parents, we don't want to be like that. So I
Right.
always like reach out. If anything, I reach out to my sister or my brother, and just if they need me or I need them, we will be there with each other.
Right, right. So you just called yourself a survivor, which I definitely understand. So how was that point of time? I mean, how were you and how was your mindset and what was going on basically? You must have been going to the school as well. So how were you coping up with all of these aspects of your life when something like this horrible was going on?
Honestly, at a younger age, I didn't know how to cope. You know,
Right,
I was rebellious. I was doing things that I wasn't supposed to do because at early age you just want seeing your parents like that. You just want to make them feel, I don't know, at that time there was no exposure about, I didn't know about depression, I didn't know about anxiety, you just,
Right.
you use your emotion, everything, you just want your parents, I don't know what, at that time I was, maybe I want attention, or I just want to break free from everything. And I
Right.
actually left home at an early age. So
Okay.
I guess again, that's why I say I'm a survivor. But I just but one thing about me, I really um I'm really focused on my school, even though I'm doing the
Mm.
rebellious thing. But for me, I personally think that education is important for me. So I finished school, and I make sure I'm in the university. And after
Mm-hmm.
university, I get job. And during university time, how I support myself, I do a part-time job outside to because I'm very in early beginning. I'm already independent, so I
Right.
guess but I but when I think about it, my past and what I'm right now, it whatever my behavior or my emotions before, okay, maybe I can share with you, like after I met psychiatrist. Before this, I don't know how to control my anger, I don't know how to control my emotion,
Right.
whether I didn't know whether I was going through depression at that time. I was just 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 go for it, whatever inside my
Right.
mind.
Right.
I just,
Right.
so but I guess I wouldn't say, well, maybe my up I wouldn't say what my childhood, whatever, but for me, I'm accepting what I had,
Right.
I'm accepting. So I wouldn't want to say if it's a sad childhood or it's a rough one, but I guess that was my life before. But
Right.
I survived. I completed my university, and then I got a job, and then after that I felt like I had a passion in open up a restaurant. So I went to Taiwan. Actually I studied in Taiwan for
Right.
Chinese
Right.
language,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then from there I took a part-time job, and then I opened a small restaurant, a small shop selling food, and then it grows from there.
Right, right, right. And how's you also mentioned? I mean, in the beginning, also you have mentioned that you opened your own restaurant. So when did this passion come to you? Like, when did you think about opening a restaurant? When did this plan got planted in your brain?
What plan? Okay, I studied when I was in university. I took a foundation in architecture and
Mm-hmm.
degree in landscape architecture, which has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. But I
Okay.
guess when my parents were together,
Mm-hmm.
when they were together when I was small, they opened a restaurant together. So when I was, growing up, I after school I go and help them, and seeing them or open up the restaurant. I guess it started from a small, seeing them, and
Right.
even when they were not together, I saw my mom still doing the catering, doing providing food for the hospital. So I guess seeing them doing it, I didn't know that eventually it was already in my blood that okay, I want to do this food business. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I guess that's how it started.
Right, right. And we also earlier discussed that after starting the restaurant, there were certain issues that you have faced. So we'll talk about that now. So what happened after opening the restaurant? I'm sure, as you told, it got good. I mean, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. So what
Yeah.
happened? How was the process? What exactly happened? Yeah.
I guess when I first started, of course, when you started the business, you started from small, and I started from
Oh.
zero,
Mm-hmm.
from different country, different
Right.
language, and
Right.
because I didn't know how to speak Chinese before,
Mm-hmm.
I came to Taiwan alone in 2014. I came 2014. I studied. Initially, it was only like a short course study, 3 to 6 months, and then I was like, oh no, Chinese language is very difficult. So I decided to continue and to pursue, and then somehow, wow, I was like 1 year. But while studying Chinese, I already took part-time job in a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So
Mhm.
yes, so I took a local restaurant there, and then from there, even my my previous boss in the restaurant teach me how to speak Chinese better.
Chinese,
You
yes.
know, when you speak in the school, speak at the school and the university is different. So that's
Right, of
how,
course.
yeah. So that's how um, I I I learned from there. And then what else? Sorry, come again.
We were talking
uh,
about the restaurant, how exactly the
yeah,
restaurant and how it grew. Yeah.
yes. And then from there it grows because I also started to sell my, in Malaysia we have nasi lemak coconut rice and it's
Mm-hmm.
very famous, it's number one. So I started to sell to the students in university, and
Oh,
then the, the order grows and then it grows, and I was like, okay, I cannot do this alone. I cannot do it anymore in my studio apartment using a small stove. So I decided to I created a
uh-huh.
team, for the kitchen, for the delivery, for me, because before I do it by myself, I go to the market, I buy, I cook, and I send and deliver to the school. So after that, the order is so many, I cannot do it alone by myself. Then I create hiring assistant help me with the kitchen, help me with the delivery, So
Right.
so I created a small team, and at
Mm-hmm.
that point, the I wouldn't say at that time it's not a restaurant, but it's more like a kitchen base.
Right, right.
So
No,
kitchen
cloud
base,
kitchen. Yeah.
yes. So we provided food there, and some of the customers like, oh no, you only provided to the students. What about us? We want to go for walking and we want to eat the food and we want to sit. So I put like a half from the kitchen, half of it people can go dining. It's a small space. It's only like 15 people can go and eat there. And then after that somehow it grows, more and more customer, and then the place was crowded and it's really packed, and then I was like, okay, I cannot, I have, the stress is already there, it builds
Right,
up.
right, right,
So
right.
basically from there I decided, okay, just 6 months there, and then I decided to move to a new place. And this place is more like a restaurant. It's a restaurant actually. It's called Malaysia
Right,
Kitchen in Taiwan, and it's a restaurant concept.
right.
So, and then when we move, uh, the rent is higher, and it's a good location. It's a prime area. It's near to the MRT, and it's perfect. It's next to all the big brands restaurant.
Right,
And then COVID came.
right,
Right
right.
after we moved, COVID came. But yes, we did like alternative instead of because 3 months at that time in Taiwan, people cannot go out, so we do a delivery. We do a delivery, and that's how we're surviving from there.
Mhm.
And then things just I just felt maybe COVID, and we're having that for like 2 years, and
Right.
then I guess that's how it started. But I think, let me maybe I can explain. In Taiwan it's different. In Taiwan, compared to Malaysia, Taiwan, they are very into the mental health
Mm-hmm.
thing, because if you walk you can see a lot of psychiatrist clinic there, where you can, at first I didn't know, I never been there. So when I walk I can see from outside, if you're having depression, if you're having an anxiety, if you have a sleep disorder, come to us, like they have a lot of clinics, psychiatrist clinic. That's how I never go in Malaysia, because it's
Mm-hmm.
not it's
That's
not
spoken.
exposed it's not
Right,
exposed in Malaysia.
right,
Like, even if you tell people that what you're going through, they will not understand you, and of course they will judge you. They will say something about religion, you should go this here. They will not. Maybe the stigma, like, so
right, right, right.
it's different in Taiwan, where even the government supported this mental health. So that's where in 2021, that's where I go to the psychiatrist, to meet them. That's how it started. So, but it was there was, I think I was more on mental exhaustion.
Right, right,
Mental exhaustion where you're just tired, you know,
right.
like maybe I was there for so long in Taiwan for so many
Hmm.
years alone by myself and doing the business, and I
Right.
didn't have the support. Not like family is over,
Right.
the other side,
Right. Right.
and going through everything. So, but it took me a while to go and see psychiatrists. You know,
Right.
it took me a while, but of course it's never too late. But I felt like the sooner you go, um,
Yeah. The better it is. Yeah.
yes, the better it is. But it's okay. But at that time, um, because going through depression is very, um, it wasn't easy.
Right.
And
Of course. Mhm.
going through it alone in a different country when
Right.
nobody is with you
Right.
is suicidal.
Right. So, how
So
did you? So, how did you convince yourself to go to a psychiatrist, or how did you exactly, understand that you might be going through such kind of condition? Because most of the times we are unaware. We don't take mental health seriously. Most of us don't take it. We just think it's just a phase; it would pass by, and stuff like that. But how did you understand that something's wrong is going on, and how exactly you thought, let's go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, let's say, and talk about the problem, and let's say it gets solved and stuff. So how did that start, and how did you actually understand that you're going through a phase like that?
it's because I couldn't go out from home, from house
Mm.
anymore. Like I don't want to see people anymore, and at I only go out at night when there's no one at
Right.
outside,
Mhm.
and it's been going on for 2 months.
Right.
And
Right.
that's where I
Right.
I needed
Right.
help.
Right. And what was happening to the business when you were depressed? How was the business going?
At that time, the
Mm-hmm.
staff
Mm-hmm.
they sent money to me, like because I only at home. I don't want to, it was hard. It was a hard
Right.
time for
Completely
me.
understood. Right. Right.
Um, but I monitored from the computer. I monitored the sales because we're using an app, so I can see, oh, how much today and what have we been selling. That
Right.
is when my mental is still, I mean, it's still okay. I would say because I can
Mm.
still open up the computer and everything. The thing is when it's not okay, when I decided, you know what, I cannot, I don't want to see you anymore,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I decided to take a 2 months break, 2 months break for the restaurant because I needed a break. Because
Right.
if the restaurant is still open, I was still thinking about that, and thinking
Right.
about that, I cannot use my brain anymore.
Right. There's no peace. Correct.
Yes, so I decided to have like a 2 months break, and at that time it was a winter. It was a winter break, which is fine, and um, and that's where I seek psychiatry, and I was given medication, and I was
Right.
like, that's where they gave my psychiatrist provide me like daily. I have to take twice daily, and then there will be point at first in the beginning. I keep on changing my medication because I find it like no, it's not helping me. So
Mm.
the pills was like getting higher and higher dose. I mean, not higher dose. At, towards the end, then I feel like, oh, this really helps me. But right until now, I still have the pills, but I only use it only when I feel like using it.
Right.
But before, it was more like I have to take it daily. So
Mm.
what I think, um, it was actually it's still recently. It was
Right.
it's still
It's
recently,
just
and I still have it. So I didn't tell anybody about it for the 2 months because in Taiwan it was like I mm, I was the only like Malaysian in Taiwan opening up a restaurant. So a lot of people know me from there because I also have my own YouTube channel. So
okay.
basically people was like, hey, where is she? Suddenly she didn't open her restaurant for 2 months, and people come call me. I kind of like disconnected myself from everybody, and people was like questioning, where is this person, where is this lady, where is Adibah? And then when I think at this one point, when I decided, okay, I'm getting better, maybe from the medication, or I just felt like um, um, I think I started to speak up. I started to like, okay, because everybody seems to like contacting me and where am I, and I started to use, use my social media in a healthy way, where I told the community there, the Malaysia community there, hey, I'm sorry that you guys come to the shop restaurant and the shop was being closed, and a lot of you has been like asking where is am I. Then I started to tell them that what I was going through, what I was like. I told them, sorry, I was going through my depression and I cannot work, I cannot open the shop, and that is where all the love comes in.
Right,
And
right,
that is where people like texted me, like telling me like, hey, you're not alone, we like, why didn't you reach out, why didn't you tell people? And that's where I know that, what, you need to reach out, you don't keep it to yourself.
right,
I guess that's what I learned from it. So when I
right,
started to speak out, when I started to like, hey, mental health is important, you need to take care of your mental health,
right,
because if you don't, it will become a mental illness,
right,
mental
right,
illness is gonna be like. So that's where I felt like, don't be shy, you know um, maybe go at first, of course you need to seek the professional, go to psychiatrist, seek the professional, they,
right,
and then go to the, for me, I use my social media as my platform for me to in a healthy way to tell
of
people
course,
what I was going through. And then I got received love and care, people that I didn't know come and see me. Hey, please don't be so hard on yourself. Those are the things that actually makes me feel like, oh gosh, I feel
right,
better.
right, right,
So,
right,
and
right,
then that's why I'm here back,
right, right, right.
seeing family and friends, because I was away for so long in other
Right.
countries. I guess yeah, but you need to reach out. You need to start
Correct.
to, don't put everything on yourself. It's like, you know, this one is all toxic. Let it go. So that's what
Right.
I did. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Wonderful, Adiba. That's a really great insight because that's what we are also trying to do. We are also trying to bring up a healthy community where everyone can support each other and understand that mental health is really important because that's the need of an hour. And I'm really happy that you reached out to people, that you also seek to a professional. And I think these are the things that would always be there with you as your journey. And I'm sure you're cherishing it right now since you're happy. And I'm sure your restaurant. How's your restaurant now? How's it going?
Oh, well, actually, right now we're doing the online. So I hope that
Mm-hmm.
and going back to Malaysia, I was hoping that I can, I'm restructuring. And at this time, my sister is also planning to come with me, to do together with me. So I mean, at least I don't feel like I'm alone going through it.
Right,
So
right, right,
yeah, I guess there's always a solution of everything. Maybe I just felt like, oh, at least, everybody also, you are not alone. When you're going through it, you just go to the right channel, to the right
correct,
people. Yeah.
correct, correct,
And it's good that having an NGO, that whatever you, that you guys are having this CC project about the mental health, and
right.
at least people know who to reach out.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, very good. Right. That's really wonderful that you told that. Yes, so we have different initiatives. Again, we are trying to make sure that mental health mental health becomes a priority of people, and they finally take it seriously. But in your case, it is a very happy ending, honestly. But there are certain
I hope
cases where there are certain cases where people do not seek the professional at the right time, and because of that, the whole problem gets escalated, and there are lots of problem again. It just starts with one, but then it starts getting contagious. Sometimes you throw away people, you make people go away, as you told as well, that you made yourself disconnected from people. I think that is where the problem starts. I think reaching out, which I've mentioned already, is really important, because when you actually disconnect with people, I think the ray of hope that suddenly declines. And as you told, it can also be suicidal at times, and that's really complicated again when you start self-harming. So I think all the journey that I've mentioned is really helpful for our listeners as well. I'm sure they learn a lot. And with that said, I just try to understand what would be your tips. Let's say someone is going through a certain phase like that. What are the tips that you'd like to give to our audience?
Tips that I would like to give. I mean, again, I understand where they're going through, because at first you might not want people with you or around you. You just want to be alone in a room, in a dark room, and you don't even want to see the phone. But I guess that you need to step back first. Take step back, because for me, in my situation, I was working so much, doing the business. I think that's where I step back, have a break, take a break, because your mind, your brain need to take a break. I understand going through that, you will sleep a lot, but just give a moment to yourself. When you have a break, enough break, and then when you wake up the next morning, you go out, the sun is shine, you go and take a walk, and then have some exercise, because exercise is very important. And then from there, you just have to be at a calm area, peaceful area. Maybe go to the park or something, or where I did. That's what I did. See the trees, see the greens, go hiking. That's what I do. I still have the I would say I still want to see the lights outside. Maybe at one point you just want everything is dark for you, but at one point you want to go out also. So take a walk outside. Have a smell the flowers or whatever. But I just want people to it's okay whatever you're going through. It's okay. You just need a moment for yourself. Take a break from everything. It's fine. And then when you wake up the next morning, you feel like okay, you can do it, and then you can reach out to the right. It's either you reach out to the right channel, or you need to seek professional, or go to the find any like you're doing the NGO for the mental health, because I'm sure because for me, I go to the not just psychiatrist. I use the social media, what I'm going through, and then people who's also going through the same thing come to me and tell me. That's why I feel like okay, yes, I'm not alone. We're going through this. There's always a solution, and we do it step by step. Just do it one by one. That's all I can say. Take a step back. Life can be very, very hectic. Take one step back. That's all.
Great. Thanks, Adibah. Thanks for your tips. I'm sure our audience would definitely love this episode, especially your story. I'm sure they'd be inspired as well. There are many restaurants, to be honest. Restaurant food industry is one of the biggest industries that we have in this world. And every day you see new restaurants popping up, new people with their different delicious, delicates. They just come, delicacies and stuff. But then sometimes it might not work. And sometimes various reasons, again, for your case, it was COVID, but some other reasons, many times, many restaurants fail. And I hope they get that energy again by listening to your story, get that inspiration, that motivation again, and, take a step back for now, but then again, come back stronger. I hope they do that. And thanks for sharing your story, Adibah. And how was your experience talking to us?
Oh my God, it feels great, and reaching out, and I feel like this is one of the thing that we need to reach out and let people know that hey, come and don't go through by yourself. Just don't go through by yourself. And thank you for also reaching me so that we can keep on, because I'm also doing my YouTube channel, and I would like to, let awareness about this mental health, and where I will put like the channel where you can go,
Right,
and one
right,
of
right,
it is CC Project. Thank you for
right,
thank you for having me.
right, right. Thanks, Adiba, and I'll definitely let you know. I'm sure we'll have this episode within 2 to 3 weeks. As soon as it comes out, I definitely let you know, and I hope people listen to you. And yes, another thing. I don't know. I'm being very modest here again, but if at all I come to Taiwan, I'd want to taste the food that you make as well. Right? So do let me
Yes,
know. I'm going to ping you there. All
yes,
all right.
definitely. Thank you so
Uh,
much. Sure,
thank
sure. And come
thank
to
you.
Malaysia too. Malaysia is my home country.
Right,
Taiwan as
right,
well.
right. Right, of
Yes.
course, of course. Well, thanks, Adiba. Thanks a lot.